chatling. I'm a puppy girl. You're a puppy girl. And I'm here to explain to you the psychological things that are occurring that make puppy girling so favorable, so desirable to our brains. Also, you'll notice these are cat ears. I know. Unfortunately, I don't have puppy ears. These are gonna have to suffice. Just pretend, okay? Stretch your thinking. Utilize your imagination. Oh, wait, that's so cute. Wait, can I pin these down? That's so cute. What if I push the... That kind of looks puppy-y, actually. Oh. Alright. 30 seconds in and I'm already distracted. Can you tell that I'm a puppy girl? Let's begin. Puppy girling is largely an emotional escape. Okay? So, there are lots of stressors in our lives. We are adult humans. There's money, there's problems in the world, there's a bunch of things to think about, complicated stuff that puts a lot of weight on your mind. And when you assume the identity of a puppy, you don't think about these things. A dog is not considering how much money it has, how it's going to afford its next meal. It's wagging its tail, and it's walking around happily, and it's going to maybe go chase a ball, and then eat from a food dish. Getting into a puppy girl mentality shifts your focus away from complicated adult things that are stressful and scary to very simple things, basic needs, and in a very comforting fashion. It's not directing your attention to basic needs in a sense of, oh my gosh, how am I going to afford my next meal? What am I going to cook? What am I going to do? No. Being a puppy girl is all about being taken care of, focusing on whimsy and being happy. You know how being a puppy girl often is accompanied by a playful demeanor. So, when you assume this role of a puppy girl, you are taking the weight off of yourself and placing it onto usually your owner. Although technically you can puppy girl without an owner. And in that case, you're simply focusing your attention from stressful things, from complicated things, to struggles, all of that scary stuff, onto very simple, happy things. I'm gonna bark, and it's gonna make me feel silly. I'm gonna put a collar on, and it's gonna make me feel all whimsical and cutesy. I'm gonna eat from a dog bowl. This is cool, I enjoy it. Very simple, easy, digestible things that are being stored in your noodle. These thoughts are very simple, they're very calming, they're very straightforward. I would say a lot of the appeal of being a puppy girl is taking stress off of yourself. There's an added bonus if you do have an owner, which again ties into the removal of stress. All of the adult responsibilities, all that stuff is placed onto your owner. Also, being a puppy girl introduces a dynamic that comforts the puppy girl and furthermore takes responsibility off of them. It often creates a power dynamic, and this does not have to be sexual, okay? Let's get one thing very clear. I am Ace. Never make assumptions about somebody who is a puppy girl, alright? You can be a puppy girl and be asexual. It's a very creative and a very fluid identity. Puppy girling is whatever you want it to be. That being said, there are patterns that I have noticed, and that is what I'm trying to explain in this video. Despite the differences between each puppy girl, the differences in people's individual experiences, puppy girling often includes the redirection of focus from scary negative things to simple happy things. In addition, there is a sensory appeal. There is a appeal that ties into human affection and that feeling of closeness and comfort that comes from petting, cuddling, these things that you would do with an actual dog, that you do with a puppy girl. They bring closeness, they bring feelings of love, oxytocin. That's a very scientific term, they call me the scholar. Oxytocin is a neurotransmitter that is largely adjacent to feelings of love, attachment, cutesy feelings, happiness, feeling close with somebody. All of those emotions are often tied to oxytocin. It is also involved in sexual things. However, again, this does not have to be sexual. Oxytocin is released during long hugs, and it can also be released during physical acts of intimacy, such as petting, cuddling. Like I said, and oxytocin feels good. Therefore, these puppy girl habits of receiving pets, receiving head pats, all of those physical behaviors are going to increase happiness, potentially increase oxytocin, which increases feelings of closeness, love, trust, bonding, all of that delicious stuff that makes puppy girling as a whole more intriguing, emotionally speaking, more appealing, more favorable. Now, I'll go on a bit of a tangent from the attempted scientific explanation of puppy girling to share my own experience. There are things that I really like as well about puppy girling that don't necessarily tie into things like physical closeness, affectionate bonding. I just find them really cool. For example, I like ears. I think ears are super cute. I don't know, it feels like a very cute and playful way to express myself. There's just something so nice about wearing ears. Once again, nothing sexual about it. I just really enjoy it. I wish that I had ears. The things that I would do to naturally have ears like this on my head, you have no idea. But it just puts a smile on my face. I love expressing myself like this. Similarly, I like collars. Wow, I sound like a broken record, but I feel like I need to say this again because collars oftentimes come with a certain connotation. They do not have to be sexual. Once again, I just see them as an entertaining way to express myself. I think they're cute, I think they're lovely, and there's also the potential to use them as a symbol of connection, a symbol of love. Your partner or your owner can get you a collar and you can wear it. And it's kind of like a physical manifestation of your love for each other and your devotion to that person. And I think that's really sweet. Not only is it sweet, but if I had a collar that, I don't know, had my boyfriend's name on it, I would feel happy to wear it because it's a physical reminder of him that I can always feel right here. Another thing is paws. Okay, maybe this is my inner furry coming out, but I like paws. I think they're really cute. I think there's something very whimsical and silly and fun about wearing certain items, certain accoutrements that are adjacent to that of a dog. The paws, the ears, hell, even I've seen noses drawn on that look really cute and really fun and really silly. And I just love the entire visual expression of a puppy girl. Not that puppy girling has to look a certain way, not in the slightest. Puppy girling is a mindset. That being said, I love the different ways that you can express it. I think it's awesome. Now, something that's really interesting is that autistic people are more likely to be puppy girls. So that raises a lot of questions. Right off the bat, I can see how the sensory aspect of puppy girling, the pets, the cuddles, the ears if you enjoy this feeling, same with collar, although that could go either way. This could be really irritating for some. I could see how that could appeal to an autistic person because autistic people often have very specific sensory profiles and different needs and desires than the average person that does not have autism. Autistic people, for example, again, everyone is different, but one autistic person may not be comfortable with hugs, but maybe they are comfortable with head pats. Now, me, I don't really like any physical anything with anyone except for my boyfriend, but I still really enjoy things like head pats or getting pet in general. Just receiving affection in a way that is slightly non-conventional, slightly less common with humans that are not puppy girls, and slightly more common with puppy girls. I'm a big fan of physical affection that is within that sphere. In addition to the sensory aspect of it, I just remembered another huge component of puppy girling is the communication. Being able to woof and bark instead of having to stress about the proper words to say in conversation. It is socially acceptable with other puppy girls in a puppy girl community or with your owner or your friend who likes puppy girls, anything. As a puppy girl, it is acceptable to simply bark. That takes so much weight off of the puppy girl. You don't have to think. Again, this ties back into taking stress off of one and kind of having an empty brain, I suppose. Not to say that puppy girls are dumb, but it's nice because it allows you to kind of be just a empty, fuzzy puddle. You don't have to stress about the words that are coming out of your mouth. A bark is a sufficient social token, a token of communication. I have seen this exact phenomenon in my Discord server. Sometimes, in fact, I say sometimes, probably multiple times per day, there will be a conversation in my general chat where it's just people meowing back and forth. Literally just messages and messages of nothing but meowing. Now, this same exact thing goes for barking and for puppy girls. You are developing more social connection. You are connecting with these people, at least in my Discord server, to use as a case study, using nothing but barking. That is much more simple, easier to understand, easier for an autistic person to execute. Especially one like myself who struggles with socialization. Again, every autistic person is different, but oftentimes autistic people struggle more with social cues, socializing properly, knowing what to say in conversation. And being able to just bark and make animal noises greatly takes off that pressure. I've been yapping for a really long time, so I think I'm going to call it here, but let me know if there's anything that I didn't mention that you think applies to puppy girling in the realm of psychology. Okay. Also, if you're 18 or older, you should join my Discord server. You would fit right in, twin. Trust me. Trust me. Alright, make sure to be kind to yourself and take care of yourself and follow my Twitch. Okay. Okay. Bye, twin!